Police have arrested a suspect in a shooting that left one woman dead and a man in critical condition.
Metro police say that the suspect and Martin knew one another. Martin's friend says that he spoke with her about the suspect shortly before she died.
I spoke to Gina maybe an hour before she passed away. So, to know how it happened, it sucks. The last message I sent with her was to let her know that the guy who actually took her life, he was looking through my Instagram stories, I guess, trying to figure out where she was. So for that to be the last time I spoke to her, again, an hour before she passed, it hurts.
About his relationship with my sister, he said that he felt like she should be with him. I told him that she wasn't interested in pursuing their relationship no more. And he sped off, left from in front of my house, and 30 minutes later, he had killed my sister.
"36-year-old Gina Martin was a kind, funny, and loving woman who loved her son and family more than anything. Although a Las Vegas native who was recently living in Colorado, Gina decided to head back to the Valley to celebrate her 37th birthday. She rarely celebrated herself and wanted to spend her special day with family and friends. Little did Gina know, this would be a tragic and fatal decision. On the evening of August 3rd, Las Vegas police responded to an Avis car rental shop on Sahara and Decatur for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate an unresponsive adult female and a male.
Earlier, we couldn't even get this close as this entire area was blocked off due to the deadly shooting that happened here at the Avis rental car store. Now, many shoppers stunned at the turn of events that went down today.
And I think this is the first incident I ever seen at this magnitude here, so it's very alarming.
Police stating that it was not a random act, but intentional, as the three people knew each other.
Our suspect is, we don't have him fully identified yet. We're going through the process of confirming who we think he might be. We are working a person of interest right now.
As for other people around, there were other customers inside the business at the time of the shooting, but no one else was hurt. Avis customer Tony King was on his way to renew his rental agreement, but soon realized the severity of the situation.
I came up and seen the yellow tape, and I was wondering what was going on, because I thought it was one of these other stores maybe.
Yeah.
Last thing on my mind that it was Avis, the place that I was going to.
And other shoppers who frequent the area say nowadays crime knows no zip code.
Great stores in here, such a variety, and that it happened here in the middle of the day, no doubt, is really sad.
The victim was identified as 36-year-old Gina Martin, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds, just 2 days before her 37th birthday. Gina's partner was also shot and sustained life-threatening injuries. An investigation revealed that Gina and her partner were heading out the back door of Avis to retrieve their rental car when out of nowhere, a vehicle pulled up and a man began firing shots toward the couple. A mobile police surveillance unit stationed in the Avis back parking lot and stationary security cameras from nearby businesses captured the entire incident, making it easy for police to make an arrest. The suspect was quickly identified as Gina's ex-boyfriend, 37-year-old Frederick Lee Blanche Jr., who was subsequently arrested in Arizona without incident.
The ex-fiancé of a woman gunned down in a rental car parking lot told the victim's brother he was going to kill her before the shooting. Frederick Blanche is accused of killing Gina Martin and injuring her boyfriend. Martin's brother tried to warn his sister, but he couldn't reach her.
According to a close friend of Gina's, Frederick and Gina were engaged before Gina decided to break things off. Frederick became controlling, even using social media to track Gina's whereabouts. Roughly an hour before Gina was murdered, her close friend called her to tell her that her ex-fiancé was checking his Instagram stories in an attempt to find her.
Police say the two victims just completed a transaction here at this Avis, then entering into the back parking lot to pick up their rental car. This is the general area that police say then a different man exited his truck and began firing. One of those victims dying here on scene and described by friends and family as a light now gone.
I'm thankful that God allowed me to experience you.
Last words Ivan Williams will never get to say to his longtime friend Gina Martin. Monday would have been her 37th birthday.
If you knew Gina, you loved her. There's nobody aside from the suspect who I could say met Gina and didn't love her.
Police say Martin and another male were targets. A white truck was already parked in the back. Inside was a man they knew.
He immediately confronts them on foot
and with a gun, striking both multiple times. The male escapes back inside. Martin is pronounced dead on scene.
This is her ex-fiance.
Williams describes it as an act of domestic violence.
It's just been like a series of him harassing her. I know that for a fact. He's done it once when she was with me. Like constantly calling her, trying to figure out where she was at.
The Vegas native worked in hospitality and was living in Colorado. Williams said she was considering a move back home to be closer to her family and son that just graduated from high school. When asked if he would be able to recover.
I don't think so, but in her memory, I'll try because I know that's what she was doing.
A vigil held in the 36-year-old's honor at the Church of Latter-day Saints near Arville and Penwood. Today was her birthday. This comes after 37-year-old Frederick Lee Blanche Jr. was taken into custody in Arizona. Police say Martin was shot and killed near Sahara and Decatur. Martin's father and brother say they are angry about what happened.
I feel hurt. I feel completely let down by the individual that did it. And I have a whole bunch of resentment in my heart, like a father would have.
Frederick Lee Blanche Jr. now awaits extradition to Las Vegas while in an Arizona detention center where he would face multiple felony charges, including open murder. The case remains ongoing.
I'm here to brief you on a homicide investigation we're currently conducting at the 4600 block of West Sahara. This is in the shopping center located on the northeast corner of Sahara and Decatur, and it's in the extreme northeast corner back alley of that shopping center. Earlier today at approximately 12:32 p.m., officers from the Bolden Area Command were dispatched to a report of a shooting in the rear alley of the 4600 block of West Sahara. Again, it's in the rear alley, the extreme northeast corner of the property. As officers were en route to the call, they are advised that there was a shooting at the property and that there was a female who was shot and on the ground, and there was another male who had been shot inside the business. As numerous different people began calling into 911, officers began to arrive on scene. As they arrived in the back alley of the apartment of the rental car company, they located a female on the ground who was unresponsive, who had sustained multiple gunshot wounds. Officers initially began to provide medical aid to her, but realized that she was deceased, where they then directed their attention towards a male who was inside the rental car company. They located a male in his 30s who had sustained multiple gunshot wounds. A short time later, medical did arrive here on scene, treated him on scene, immediately transported him to University Medical Center, where he is being treated for multiple gunshot wounds and is currently listed in critical condition. Homicide has responded. We've taken over this investigation. The preliminary details that I have are as follows: that the male and the female were inside the rent-a-car company completing a rent-a-car transaction. As they were in the rent-a-car company, a white pickup truck came down this alley, that is our suspect vehicle, and went around the corner to the rear parking lot of the rent-a-car company. The rent-a-car company keeps the vehicles that it stores for its patrons in the back alley. So when you complete a rental transaction, you go through the business to the back alley, and that's where you pick up your car. He then parks just past where they park the cars. Our two patrons, our male and a female victim, exit the rear of the rent-a-car company. He immediately confronts them on foot, and a verbal altercation ensues between him and our male victim. During that altercation, our suspect pulls out a firearm and immediately begins shooting at our male victim. After our male victim went to the ground, he then began engaging our female victim, and after that, he re-engaged our male victim as he fled into the rent-a-car company, which is why their initial calls came out at the rent-a-car company. After the shooting took place, our suspect then re-entered his white pickup truck and fled southbound through the alley towards Sahara and was last seen westbound Sahara. Our suspect is, we don't have him fully identified yet. We're going through the process of confirming who we think he might be. We are working a person of interest right now, but all I'll give out right now is that he is a black male with a heavy build, appears to be in his 30s or 40s. He's wearing a long sleeve black shirt is what it appears, with dark colored pants, if not black pants, and wearing dark colored shoes. Again, he did flee westbound. We do have a possible suspect vehicle that we are trying to identify right now and confirm it is that vehicle. Once we have that information, then we'll continue to work with what we have at that point in time. Again, we're continuing our investigation at this point. The details that I will have as we move through this investigation will change here, I'm sure, in the next few hours, and we will be able to confirm a lot of the information that I do not have right now. The suspect, again, last seen westbound Sahara in a white pickup truck. I encourage anyone with any information related to the two people involved that as victims in this incident, if you have any information from prior history, please reach out to the LVMP homicide section or reach out through Crime Stoppers of Nevada. With that said, I'll take any additional questions you may have.
Were there customers inside the business when this occurred?
I believe there was customers and the people who work at the business, but the shooting, all the shooting took place in the rear alley of the business. And one other thing I want to say is this was not a random shooting based on the details I just gave you and the details I watched. This was directed at these two people. This is not like a random, someone just approaches somebody. They knew one another.
Do you have any idea what that relationship was?
We don't. That will be the big aspect of ascertaining what is the motive, which I think will start coming to the surface as we continue into our investigation. The question was, what was the motive? I think we will know that, I think, sooner than later. Right now, we're just getting going on our investigation.
Was there any gun found or anything like that, or no?
No, right now, I'm not aware of any gun that was found on scene.
Any of the rental cars get damaged or shot at?
We're still processing, and we won't know that for a while.
Another question real quick. This has to do with another shooting that happened on Fremont Street. Is there anything you can confirm with that?
I'm only here to discuss the homicide that is taking place right now at the 4600 block of West Sahara.
Any other injuries besides those two people?
No, there's no other injuries besides those two people.
Do we know if they are employees of that Avis business?
They were not. They were customers. They had just completed a rental transaction and were going to pick up their rental car, which was in the rear alley of the business.
Is there surveillance in this alley?
There is surveillance. I'm glad you brought that up. There actually is a crime camera back there where the shooting took place. The whole shooting is captured on video between the crime camera and the rear cameras on the back of the businesses in the back alley.
There's been people trying to drop off cars and pick up cars from Avis. Do you know when they'll be back open?
I would just tell them right now, this back alley will be secured for a while, but they can reach out to the Avis at the front desk or through their 1-800 yard. But this back here will be closed for a while, as will be the inside the business, because one of our victims ran into the business, so there's still parts of the crime scene that are in there.